Hello friends, welcome to ThinkerViews podcasts where we share our book reviews with you. The latest installments of Cormoran Strike series is available for readers worldwide since its publication in 2022. Although The Ink Black Heart had been on the reading lists for a long time since the author declared the name on the fan platforms. Written by Robert Galbraith or J.K. Rowling, the series has been loved by readers and also been converted into a TV adaptation. We have reviewed all the previous books of this series here at ThinkerViews podcasts as well as on our blog at www.thinkerviews.com, namely The Cuckoo's Calling, The Silkworm, Career of Evil, The Lethal White, and Troubled Blood. So let's take a look at the cover page of The Ink Black Heart. As we have noted before, the signature cover page for all Cormoran Strike novels features the detective and his partner in motion, chasing secrets in dark places, and this one is no exception. We see the detective duo making their way through a dark track in a graveyard, surrounded by rubble, dislodged gravestones, and tombs. The black and white background of the cemetery is made somehow more sinister with the poisonous green ivy that seems to take over everything around it. The storyline goes something like this. It starts on a positive note and we meet Robin and Strike on a celebratory dinner at Ritz. Robin is turning 30 and the detective agency is now established enough for them to mark the occasion with friendly banter and expensive dinner. The evening, however, ends on a jarring note. While they try to bring their interactions back to normal, Eddie Ledwell comes to visit Robin at the office. Disheveled and harassed, Eddie strikes a compassionate note within Robin. But as Eddie's problem is more of a cybersecurity arena, Robin declines the job. A few days later, however, Eddie is murdered in Highgate Cemetery, and so Strike and Robin are pulled into the worlds of the Ink Black Heart. Eddie had been one of the co-creators of a successful cartoon called The Ink Black Heart, along with then-boyfriend Josh Blay. With time, the cartoon has been turned into a Netflix series and is going towards a movie adaptation. Thus, what had started as a fun exercise between friends, living in a commune, enjoying hippie-ish life, has now turned into a money-making franchise. Quite a few of the friends from the beginning are left behind and feel resentful. But more concerning is how the fan community for the cartoon has now taken a life of its own. Led by Enomi, a few fans created an online game based on the cartoon called Drake's Game. It is like a beautifully animated chat room where fans gather. When Eddie failed to praise the game in one of her first interviews, Enomi started a hate campaign on social media. Over the last few years, it has turned into a toxic vendetta that saw Eddie attempt a suicide at least once, and now she is murdered. The fans are speculating what actually happened. Robin and Strike's primary suspect is Enomi. And as they both learn to go through social media output for previous few years from all the intertwined friends and family connections, they keep discovering one secret after another, with no apparent end in sight. The investigation also brings them to attention of far-right government movement, and they narrowly escape a bomb attack at the office. To make matters complex, Strike is being threatened by ex-fiance's upcoming divorce proceedings, which may lead to negative impact on the business, and is hence forced to find more employees to cover the workload, which now also includes finding a failsafe against Charlotte in Yagoros. With everyone stretched, their personal safety threatened, and the elusive enemy always out of reach, Strike also has a secret he has been avoiding persistently for years now. How will it all get resolved? And let us now discuss our views and reviews for the book. What we have just provided in the previous section is an outline of the widespread cast and characters in this yet another epic installment that spans over 1,000 pages, becoming one of the longest books to be published by J.K. Rowling in the Strike universe. It is definitely not for those looking for a speed read, but for those who enjoy the world of Strike and Robin. However, it is not a difficult read in spite of its length. In fact, it is quite interesting to pursue the multiple threads when the author gives us the chats between various players of games, as they talk to one another on common as well as private channels simultaneously, thus creating multiple narratives, like they happen in real life. Every Strike novel has talked about contemporary issues: poverty, homelessness, drug abuse, broken families, young people looking for hope, search for equality in modern days, and this book continues that as well. But the previous books also had the personal struggles for Strike and Robin to free themselves of the past and find their footing and success. In this book, they have found their peace with the personal lives to some extent, and the agency is in a good place. The focus of this story is largely on the internet and how toxic it can become when used for nefarious purposes. It is hard not to feel for Eddie, who has been continuously and viciously targeted through social media, so far that she is inclined to take her own life. J.K. Rowling has had her share of social media controversies as well, and in this book she creates that world with effectiveness. The all-encompassing visibility of people who become celebrities, the almost possessiveness of fandom that leads to toxic infiltrations and campaigns by people around successful creators who feel cheated somehow, and worse, the attempts to claim the same level of creativeness and closeness to someone who has died and left all their wealth for family and friends to divide amongst themselves. It is hard to not feel compassion for almost all characters here that come from dysfunctional families and how these children seek friendship and guidance on internet, only to get a warped view of the real world from extremist and abusive groups online. Whether it is cautious principles of far-right movement or pedophiles parading as friends. No wonder these children will struggle with real worlds when they become adults. But through the internet chats, the author also shows us how unkind and bitchy most of the conversations become. And through it all, Strike and Robin continue to look for patterns, dots to join, that can build the persona of the anonymous entity that may have killed and wounded the creators of what they claim to love. Until the very end, the elusive entity keeps the mask on. In fact, the end sort of takes you by surprise. If we can share a couple of quotes that we found very thought-provoking in the book. If every good idea could be realized cleanly and without delay, investigative work wouldn't be the long, hard slog Cormoran Strike knew it to be. The older Strike got, the more he had come to believe that in a prosperous country, in peacetime, notwithstanding those heavy blows of fate to which nobody was immune, and those strokes of unearned luck like inherited wealth, Character was the most powerful determinant of life's course. There are quite a few typographical and proofreading errors, which are understandable considering the span of the book, and you wouldn't notice them unless you are a detail-oriented reader who picks them up by default. So, in summary, it is yet another enjoyable and intriguing installment in the Cormoran Strike series, and the fans have another installment to enjoy while they explore the journeys of Cormoran Strike and Robin Ellicott. ThinkerViews rating for this series stays at around 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Please let us know if you are a fan of detective novels, whether you have explored the Cormoran Strike series. Are there any other detective novels that you are enjoying and would like us to read and review here at ThinkerViews platforms? And please hit the like button or share your thoughts via comments or subscribe to the channel if you are enjoying this podcast. And until the next time, thank you for listening.